تلك الدار الآخرة نجعلها للذين لا يريدون علوا في الأرض ولا فسادا والعاقبة للمتقين. من جاء بالحسنة فله خير Whoever comes on the day of judgment with a good deed will have better than it, and whoever comes with an evil deed, then those who did evil deeds will not be recompensed except as much as what they used to do. Indeed, O Mohammed, he who imposed upon you the Quran will take you back to a place of return, saying, "My Lord is most knowing of who brings guidance and who is in clear error." And you were not expecting that the book would be conveyed to you, but it is a mercy from your Lord. So do not be an assistant to the disbelievers, and never let them avert you from the verses of Allah after they have been revealed to you. And invite people to your Lord, and never be of those who associate others with Allah. And do not invoke with Allah another deity. There is no deity except Him. Everything will be destroyed except His face. His is the judgment, and to Him you will be returned.
الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين والصلاة والسلام الأتمان الأكملان على خاتم النبيين رسول الله إلى الناس أجمعين محمد بن عبد الله وعلى آله وصحبه والتابعين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. إن أصدق الكلام كلام الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. ثم أما بعد، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I will be speaking inshallah in English. I hope everyone can manage with that language. And I am asking, please, everyone, those who are leaning on the walls and or sitting way far, to as much as possible to come close. تحلقوا هذه هي السنة. تحلقوا. Come, let's come together, not scattered in the masjid. We should come together as one loving, close family. We love you. I hope you love me, but I love you. So if you indicate your love by coming close. Come, move your chair forward, chair. I'm talking to each and every one of you. Come close, let's come together. Don't lean on the walls, come here. The screen, you will not be able to see the screen, and there are slides that you need to read. So come close, you are too far. Can you hear me? Or I know you can hear me. I want to see you. I want to see your facial expression. Come close. I deal with you, not with the walls. I deal with you, your person, your personality, your spirit, your emotions. Brother, you are a young man. Come here to the front. So, this is a very, very, very brief introduction to the art of Dawah. This is a presentation or a course of more than 400 or 500 slides. We are going to present here no more than 30. And so it is condensed or reduced in quantity. Hopefully, if it can move, if it can empower you to some extent, if we can understand and internalize one slide, then we would have gone places. So we will start, and I want you to, this is not a one-street talk. It is not from the Khutbah al-Jum'ah, no, it is two-way street. So I want you to please interact with me, talk to me, agree with me, disagree with me, ask, interrupt, no problem. Could we do that? Could we do that?
Yes.
Could we do that?
Yes.
No, it's not loud enough. Could we do that?
Yes.
ما فهمتوا؟ السبب اني انا اعمل هذا البرزنتيشن باللغه الانجليزيه اني اوجهها لمن ارجو ان يكونوا دعاة خاصه في هذا البلد، سيكونون دعاة بين اناس يتكلمون ماذا؟ اللغه الانجليزيه، ولذلك نريد ان نعطيهم المهارات باللغه الانجليزيه. والذي من تعلم لغة قوم أمن مكرهم. والمثل الفرنسي يقول تعلم لغة أخرى تكن رجلا آخر أو شخصا آخر. نعم. Learning another language. Look at me, I am a Bedouin. I still speak English. Well, what you may not agree to be English because I speak American English. So when I say someone used the elevator, do you understand?
Yeah.
Using the lift. It's all right, you can. All right, Bismillah. There are 4 types of people. There are 4 types of people, and there are 4 pencils, a pencil for each type. This is a concept. This is a what? A concept. Brother Taysir, تعال قرب عندنا هنا نبيك.
جالس يتكلم.
قالت لما هذا يصلي.
The
one by the door, just keep talking.
Oh, the one talking by the door. The one by the door is talking. Okay. There are 4 types of people, and for each type there is a pencil. There are inner people. They have a pencil that is cut from both ends. No, it's not sharpened and doesn't have a pencil. These people do nothing. They are so lazy. They are afraid of making mistakes, as if making a mistake is a crime. Making a mistake is part of being a human being. If we did not make mistakes, we would not have developed the different mobiles that you have. Right? We would have stopped at the first mobile because we would make it perfect from the first go. Right? But because we make mistakes, we made the first version and then we improved it, and we improved it, and we keep improving, and we are still improving, and that's why we are living. The second group are clumsy people. They do nothing but mistakes. Their pencil has two erasers, one each end. They are so stupid. But what do? Those who do nothing, and they make only mistakes, they are busy looking for the faults of others. Fulan, fulana, so on, just talk about what the others are wrong or right about. Mostly what they are wrong about. As if when I see your mistake, I am pure from having mistakes. No, if I were to busy myself in evaluating my conduct, yeah, brother, those are at the back, please come forward. أنت الذي تؤشر له. أنت أين؟ أنت تعال قدام. تعال قدام. I love you. لا I want. Come here. Bring your chair. أنا أعرفك شخصيا فبيجي قريب. تعال قدام هنا. قدام أنت. أيوة تعال ليش لا؟ حياك الله أخي. كيف حالك؟ لماذا تبعد عني؟ الله يحسن لك. لا تفضل. استمع أي مكان. المهم إني أشوفك. بشوفك عشان أشوفك زعلان راضي.
زعلان. أنت عارف الظروف، عارف الحروب.
طيب تفضل. So there are people who make nothing but mistakes. Also they consider, they think they can do nothing but mistakes. They do not even try.
No.
So they are too busy looking for the faults of the others. استريح. Now the third type the third type are so industrious. They never make mistakes, or so they think. They are so perfect, right? These are legendary people. They are not real. There is nobody in the world that makes no mistakes. Even the prophets make mistakes. So, but they think they never make mistakes. And if you even want to point out for him or her a direction, they look at you and say, why you? Why am I? Why me? But reality, I need to learn from you, and you need to learn from me. And we make mistakes and we grow. So they are so arrogant, never doubt their work. But they are not ordinary people. We are looking for normal people who make mistakes. Their pencil is an ordinary pencil. It is sharpened one end, has an eraser one another. They are average people. No matter how great they are average, normal people. And so they correct their mistakes and carry on refining their techniques. That's what they do. I do it this way. If it works, good. If it doesn't work, next time, suppose I am a carpenter and I make a table. Will my first table be like the 100th? Of course not. Because I would learn the techniques of how to cut and join wood. And maybe even design. And so they are truly human. We need to understand this. So, what is the mistake of those who do not do anything?
كل بني آدم خطاء وخير الخطائين التوابون.
This is a hadith Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He says everyone, every human being makes mistakes, and the best of those who make mistakes are those who what? Who repent. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says,
والذين إذا فعلوا فاحشة أو ظلموا أنفسهم ذكروا الله فاستغفروا لذنوبهم ومن يغفر الذنوب إلا الله ولم يصروا على ما فعلوا وهم يعلمون أولئك جزاؤهم مغفرة من ربهم وجنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها ونعم أجر العاملين.
And those who, when they commit an immorality or wrong themselves by transgression, remember Allah and seek forgiveness for their sins. And who can forgive sins except Allah? And who do not persist in what they have done while they know. Those, their reward is forgiveness from their Lord, and gardens beneath which rivers flow in paradise, wherein they will abide eternally, and excellent is the reward of the righteous workers.
Al-Jannah is for who? Those who make mistakes. Not for the angel likes. Those who make mistakes, their reward is what? Al-Jannah. And who doesn't want Al-Jannah? So go ahead, make mistakes. Do not hesitate. It's okay to make a mistake. What is wrong? What is wrong is to insist in doing the same mistake one after the other and one after the other. That is wrong. But making a mistake, first time it's a mistake. Second time it's not anymore a mistake. Because we should what? Learn from making that mistake. Whenever I make a mistake, I should learn from that. Why I did it, how I did it. And so the biggest mistake of those who do nothing is what?
Doing nothing.
Is doing nothing. The biggest mistake of those who do nothing is doing nothing. We should lead the world. We cannot lead the world by avoiding to do things, by being pushed. We have to make mistakes. So, you cannot grow unless you are willing to change and adapt. Change to be hard because people overestimate the value of what they have and fear losing that if they change. They overestimate what they have. I have my job. Wow, you want me to change? What if I do not get the same job? You will get a better job. Don't worry. Don't bury yourself in a job or way of life. Keep changing. the world is open. And you know what? I'm talking to Yemenis and I'm talking to Somalis. Most of you are like that. And Yemenis, mashallah, everywhere they go, everywhere you go around the world, you find them present and active and energetic. You know, in America, in where the cars factories, they prefer Yemenis to Americans themselves. Why? Because the Yemenis are diligent. They work hard. نشاط وذوي عزيمة وما يستصعبوا شيء. حاول. والثاني الجروب الصوماليز ما شاء الله. You go to South Africa and they are the masters of business in South Africa. And everywhere maybe, right? So some people avoid change because they underestimate the value of what they may gain if they change. They underestimate what they will get if they change. They do not really know what they actually forgo for not changing. إيش التضحية اللي ضحوها لما ما يتغيروا؟ إيش الفرص اللي ضحوا بها والمكاسب. Do not realize that they need to willingly change for them to grow and maintain success. قال الله تعالى:
إن الله لا يغير ما بقوم حتى يغيروا ما بأنفسهم.
Indeed, Allah will not change the condition of a people until they change what is in themselves.
نحن مقبلون على شهر رمضان الكريم، وكثير منا سيقرأ الكثير من القرآن. أرجو أن لا نقرأه فقط قراءة من بعيد إلى بعيد. أرجو أن نتدبر الآيات. يعني يقرأوا جزء واحد في الشهر كله بتدبر خير من أن تختم القرآن 10 مرات. لأن الله سبحانه وتعالى أنزل هذا القرآن إيش؟ لماذا يا شيخ؟ ليدبروا آياته، ليس ليقرؤوه يعني يكرروه فقط أو يزينوا به الحوائط. When someone tells you, listen to this, what this says. When someone tells you it cannot be done, who is that someone talking about? You or him himself? Himself. It is more a reflection of their limitation, not yours. Do not believe anyone who tells you it cannot be done, because he knows how much power Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put in you. إني جاعل في الأرض خليفة. أنت خليفة الله في الأرض. كيف تكون incapable? You have all the capabilities, but you have to discover it. You are born as a king. You have to discover that. If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change. If you do anything that doesn't seem to be difficult, not challenging, it will not improve you. Only if it challenges you, it will improve you. So you will not become what you want to be. You will not become what you want to be until you believe that you are already so. You want to become a general manager, you have to act as a general manager. Before you act as a general manager, you will never become a general manager. Because I, the owner of the business, or the VP or the CEO would look and I would say, this man is better. This man is better for general management. Subhanallah. See, this is what happened. How do you switch this on? If I see in you
خليه يكمل الأذان جميل جميل الأذان If you put it on silent, they stop.
If I don't see matter that you have management matter, okay. Ah, very good, thank you. Good shukriya. If I don't see that you have general manager matter, I will not promote you. But if I see that you are displaying those qualities, I'll speak to my people, even my seniors, and say, this man, you know, what's his name? What's your name? Khalid. Khalid. We know this Khalid. MashaAllah. He's only a supervisor, yeah. But forget it. He's much more than a supervisor. You should pay attention to him. Maybe give him special training. And he will make a good... Okay, let's sit down. We have a career plan. And Khalid, in 1.5 years from now, he will become the general manager. We will cherish him. Right? That's how it works. I'm telling you, from a senior management, I tell you how the things work in the background. Yeah? So, if you are not prepared to be wrong, you will never be able to come up with something that is original. How can you come up with something original if you are not going to make mistakes to be wrong? Right? You have to be willing to be wrong if you want to bring something original. If you are not prepared to make mistakes, you will never be able to advance or become anything that is significant. If you can read, this is why I asked you to come close. Look at this corner. If you do not make the time to work on creating the life you want, you are eventually going to be forced to spend a lot of time dealing with a life you do not want. You only, if you don't work today, you young people, if you don't work today, you are delaying the problem. You are not, you don't think you are avoiding the problem. You are only delaying it. You will deal with it in the future. You will feel sorry for yourself. You will hate the world. But who did it? I did it, not the people did it to me. I did the success or I did the failure. Don't blame anyone. Put this halaqah في إذنك. Put this on your chest. Write it down. Stick it onto the wall in your house, in the mirror. Read it every morning. Inculcate it, understand it, absorb it. Your desire for success. should be greater than your fear of failure. Only if you have that desire so strong to succeed that you will succeed. Despite on the way you may make mistakes. Right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says,
what comes to you of good is from Allah, but what comes to you of evil, O man, is from yourself. And we have sent you, O Muhammad, to the people as a messenger, and sufficient is Allah as witness.
So I am not a product of my circumstances, I am a product of my own decisions. So many times we blame the circumstances. We are not in our country, we are having this difficulty, we are in this, that, and we blame, but never blame ourselves. We don't take, responsibility, but we are willing to take credit. If we succeed, all of a sudden, I want to give the credit. Look at me, I have done it. But if I fail, that's not my problem, that's Ahmed's problem. No. If I fail, it is I should step back a bit and ask myself, what did I not do, or what did I do that was not right? And fix it, and go forward. I am not a product of my circumstances. Do you believe that? Yes. Do you believe this? Yeah. I am not a product of my circumstances, but I am a product of my own decisions. So let's improve the way we make decisions. And we improve the way we make decisions by being open, collect information, correct information, authentic information, and then verify them, and then build our decisions upon that information. But hearsay يقولوا في الرياض السعودية ويقولوا في اليمن ويقولوا في مصر ويقولوا this is a waste of time. This is really a waste of time. I cannot do everything, right? So what should I do? I should concentrate on what I can do, what I can influence. We will come to that in a bit. So if we this is for managers and parents. If we excessively punish our team, our children, our neighbors, our people, if we excessively punish our team members for making any mistake, we would kill their creative capacities. Do not criticize who makes a mistake. It is what should I do? Oh, what is your name? Abdul Salam, you made a mistake? Good, this is an opportunity. Let's bring your chair, let's sit here, let's talk about it. Why that mistake happened? How did it happen? What did you consider? What did you not consider? We analyze the problem, we discover why the mistake happened, we fix it, we grow. So remember that failure is an event, not a person. Don't describe, you are nothing, you are bad, you are this, you're not, you are. I wish people in their talk, they do not say, you are wrong. You know what we should say instead? I think what you are saying is wrong. Not you are wrong, I don't describe you. Not you are wrong, no. What you are saying, I think what you are saying is wrong. But we are fast. We say you are wrong. No, I am not wrong. What I said is wrong. I am the same if I fix what I said. You will not describe me as wrong, do you? Not anymore. So I did not change. Only what I said changed. So I am not. What I am saying now is not wrong. Or what I said was wrong. What you said is right. What you said. Describe the event. Do not describe the person. أما parents كان أنت ما فيك فايدة. أنت كل الناس أولاد الناس ناجحين وأنت مصيبة على راسك. Why? الحمد لله. Now people say, where do I fit in Dawah? So either I become the top guy or nothing. No, everybody has a role. In a hospital, we have the consultants, we have the surgeons, we have the specialists, the GP doctors, the different technicians, lab technicians, X-ray technicians, and so on technicians. We have nurses, we have the janitors. Oh, janitors. Boy, people do not respect janitors. Without the janitors, the hospital would be a disaster. Right? And Allah said, listen to Allah what He says, subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Inna Allah yuhibbu at-tawwabina wa yuhibbu al-mutatahhirin.
Indeed, Allah loves those who are constantly repentant and loves those who purify themselves.
So Allah loves that janitor that you're disregarding, disrespecting. He or she may be beloved by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Alaykum as-salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. There are the managers and administrators and clerks. There are the financiers who support the hospital or provide the capital. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what does Allah demand of you?
Allah does not charge a soul except according to what He has given it. Allah will bring about after hardship ease.
Allah لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. You do not have to be a consultant to make the hospital a good place. You may be only the receptionist. But you make the reception, the hospital so pleasant because you receive people with a smile. Right? So janitors ensure the hospital hygiene, without which a hospital would dangerously spread diseases. Okay, in Dawah we have a parallel to the hospital. It's like an organization, another organization. We have the scholars, we have the reformers, we have the specialists, we have the teachers, we have the technology specialist, we have the brothers and sisters who team to do a project, we have the office boys and girls who keep the place tidy and clean. There are the managers, organizers, secretaries, and clerks. All of these are working in Dawah. They do not have to be the big mouth, the speakers. There are the financiers. Without finance support, how can we do Dawah? Can we, Brother Ahmed? We can't. So find your place. Find your right spot and work there. And again,
لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها لها ما كسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت.
Allah does not charge a soul except with that within its capacity. It will have the consequence of what good it has gained, and it will bear the...
Okay? Did I tell you to explain usul al-fiqh? No. Sheikh, I do not speak the language. Did I told you to give an oration? Khutbah? No, not necessarily. I am shy. Well, do you necessarily have to do something facing people? No, do something in the background. Right? I need you there. I need everyone, everywhere. Right? And so, find the place where you can support Dawah in any role possible that you want, that you know. And if you can grow from there, great. Do I stop learning today? If I did, it is time for me to go to the grave. Right?
والذين جاهدوا فينا لنهدينهم سبلنا وإن الله لمع المحسنين.
And those who strive for us, we will surely guide them to our ways. And indeed, Allah is with the doers of good.
Most all people are du'at. They are either one, active, positive. They are active, they work actively, and they are positively supporting Islam. Right? Like who? Like Rahimahullah Sheikh Ibn Uthaymeen or Brother Green, Abdul Rahim Green, for example. There are many others. Just as an example, they are active and they are positive. So they are influencing people and promoting the people to come to Dawah, to come to Islam. Right? The second type of people, excuse me.
ومن أحسن قولا ممن دعا إلى الله وعمل صالحا وقال إنني من المسلمين ولا تستوي الحسنة ولا السيئة ادفع بالتي هي أحسن فإذا الذي بينك وبينه عداوة كأنه ولي حميم وما يلقاها إلا الذين صبروا وما يلقاها
than one who invites to Allah and does righteousness and says, "Indeed, I am of the Muslims." And not equal are the good deed and the bad. Repel evil by that deed which is better, and thereupon the one whom between you and him is enmity will become as though he was a devoted friend. But none is granted it except those who are patient, and none is granted it except one having a great portion of good. And if there comes to you from Satan an evil suggestion, then seek refuge in Allah. Indeed, He is the hearing, the knowing.
I want you to think about the last two surahs of Al-Quran Al-Kareem. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق من شر غاسق إذا وقب من شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد. I invoke one name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala against four great evils. Right? The last surah, قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس. So I invoke three names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or qualities, and against what? Against al-wiswas. What is al-wiswas? وَإِمَّا يَنزَغَنَّكَ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ نَزْغٌ فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ. From where do these wiswas come? مِنَ الْجِنَّةِ وَالنَّاسِ. It may come from loving people, parents, friends. Right? You cannot do it. No, you have to, know your limit. Stop. Know your limit. What is my limit? Why do you think it is my limit? My limit is much greater than I think myself. Einstein was 1/30 of his mental ability. How about me? I'm not using maybe 1/1000. 1,000th of my ability. So there is much room for me to grow. Right? So the second type of people are passive but positive. Like this brother, this brother, he's inviting. People by seeing him, they admire Islam. Not only admire him, they admire what? Islam, whom he represents or she represents. Right? And the third people are active but negative. They are actively negative about Islam, like these two people. Al-Khomeini and what is his name?
Dawkins. شبلي وشبابي.
نعم.
Richard Dawkins. وحاجة كده. هذا عراقي من الشبلي.
لا هذا الأبيض اللي على اليسار. لا لواجه الله هذا الخميني. الثاني هذا بريطاني. Dawkins. So they are opposing Islam. And the last people are the passive negative. Now this is dangerous, because if I, by conduct or appearance, repel people away from Islam, then I am amongst these last four group, the fourth group. If I, by my conduct or appearance, repel people away from Islam, then I am of the fourth group. Look, do you think this is something that will make people love Islam? Hubbly bubbly? No, it will not make people love Islam. No. That gives a bad image about Islam. It is da'wah against Islam. Or do you think, let's look at that. Do you think this in the Russian every year, every Muharram, happening in Russia. Do you think this invites people to Islam or repel people away from Islam? If Islam is like this, I do not want it. Do you agree? Would you love Islam if you see people doing this to themselves in the name of Islam, which has nothing to do with Islam? No. And excuse me, the other part. You know, Amama and Habli Babli, what is this? You want to do Habli Babli, you want to consider it right, wrong, halal, haram, I don't care. Go out and take this uniform away. Remove it. And so remember, what we share in any part of the course may not be as important as what you discover or apply as you track on. Your attained empowerment. If the pencils happen to give you that impact, good. If the role in Dawah gives you that impact, great. If you decide that it's okay to make mistakes, let me go and start improving my life, then that's good. I don't know what will, maybe even something we did not mention here, but it is in the background, in your mind. So we don't have time for a break. We are running out of time, as a matter of fact. So how about, who will define Dawah for me, quickly? Give me a definition of Dawah. In your word, you don't have to be correct. It's okay to make mistakes, remember.
Calling people.
Calling people. How about you, brother?
Inviting people. Inviting.
Fighting?
Inviting.
Inviting. How about you?
See?
Yeah. What do you say? Skip?
Showing good manner.
Showing good manner. Sheikhna, you have a suggestion?
Inviting people.
Inviting people. So, it is to call people to at-tawheed. That's the most fundamental issue. Calling people to at-tawheed. And do not translate it into unity, because 30 people can unite. 30% can unite. It is not unity. Don't use the word unity, unity of Allah. No, it is oneness of Allah. Allah is one, not a unity. God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, 3, that is unity. But Allah is one, not 3 in 1. One and only. La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah. And to all the principles of Islam. That's Dawah in very short. دقيقة واحدة بس.
The greatest commandment. In the New Testament, Yeshua is asked, what is the most important or the greatest commandment of them all? He answers as he quotes from the Hebrew scriptures the following verses. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Echad. Echad Ahad. O Israel.
The first of all commandments is, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord.
Echad. This is Deuteronomy 6:4 and or Mark 2:29. You want to do Adhan?
Yes.
خلص؟ خلص؟
دقيقتين 3 دقائق.
صلي يا اخي روح.
أنا أتبع أكمل شوية؟ بسم الله.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد
في مرضاة الله، كل شيء في مرضاة الله. احنا حاجلين على المسلسلات وعلى نطالع التلفزيون. والله إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. نعم جامعين شكرا.
He neither begets nor is born, nor is there to him any equivalent.
There are components of da'wah. Why, what, when, where, how, who. Like all of this, I want everybody to give me good news next year or next time I come, that he or she was able to invite so many people to Islam. And how? That varies. It depends on the place, the time, and who. And it is a cycle. Now, why? The status of da'wah. This is the range of Islam. And the range of Iman, 0 starts after major sins. But the one who is doing major sin is still a Muslim, but they maybe doesn't have Iman. So those to the left are in loss, those to the right are triumphant. And you grow in Islam or in Iman still a step at a time. But that's the location of Dawah. Now,
And who is better in speech than one who invites to Allah and does righteousness and says, "Indeed, I am of the Muslims."
what is the hukum of da'wah? It is sufficiently required. يعني فرض كفاية. But what does that mean? It means it is personally required until it is performed sufficiently. And who can tell me that da'wah is performed? Nowhere. Nowhere in the world is it done sufficiently. So it makes it what? Personally required. It makes it fard ayn. And so that's why we should spend more time learning about da'wah. I know I ran out of time. I leave the option to you. Either we continue of Salat al-Jum'ah, al-Isha, excuse me, or we call it an سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك. لا يقوم بها من يكفي بما يكفي على الوجه الذي يكفي. فإن قام بها من يكفي بما يكفي على الوجه الذي يكفي سقطت عن الأرض. نعم. Now, all of a sudden we are having echo. Why? Again, Dawah reward, or the reward for Dawah is like network marketing. Who can define for me what network marketing? Do you know network marketing, what it means? Anybody here knows what network marketing? Yes.
Making like in a
raise your voice.
In a meeting session, like meeting other people and marketing your ideas to other people.
No, not that. It is so much echo. Maybe switch that on.
Promoting.
No, network marketing is like some companies who sell people, to make people go visit homes. And they market for them like some makeup companies, for example. They visit home, they try to convince the lady to buy their product, but they don't stop there. They say, look, I will leave some samples with you, and if you can convince other people to buy, we will give you a percentage of the profit. This is okay, good, that's good. I'll do that. And she goes to her neighbors, and I tell her before you go, not only that, if you convince one of your neighbors, or 2 or 3 or 10, to do marketing also, we will give them part of the profit, and we will give you a profit, a percentage of the profit that is made by each and every one of them.
Is that a pyramid scheme?
So it is. You start with 1, it goes to 2, it goes to 4, it goes to 8, it goes to 16, and so on. So this is the networking. You're marking through the network, right? So it is like those who don't understand mathematics. It is like geometric progression. And it keeps growing, multiplying. It is like this. You make da'wah to a group. One of the group gets convinced, and he goes to make da'wah to other people. You did not do, you are not the green guy there, but the green guy was one of your audience. He is convinced, or she is convinced, and they go and make da'wah to others. So you get the ajr of what? Of all of those who accepted Islam at the hands of the man in green. And like Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says,
من دعا إلى هدى كان له من الأجر مثل أجور من اتبعه لا ينقص ذلك من أجورهم شيئا ومن دعا إلى ضلالة كان عليه من الإثم مثل آثام من تبعه لا ينقص ذلك من آثامهم شيئا رواه مسلم.
Whoever directs people to do good will gain a reward equal to all rewards of those who consequently do good until the end of time.
So you may start with 1 and he starts with a small group, or you start with 1 and he starts with a bigger group. You know, it's progressing, mushrooming. And
ومن كان يريد حرث الدنيا نؤته منها وما له في الآخرة من نصيب.
Whoever desires the harvest of the hereafter, we increase for him in his harvest. And whoever desires the harvest of this world, we give him thereof, but there is not for him in the hereafter any share.
you remember this ayah?
كمثل حبة أنبتت 7 سنابل في كل سنبلة 100 حبة والله يضاعف لمن يشاء والله واسع عليم.
Like a seed of grain which grows 7 spikes, and each spike is 100 grains. And Allah multiplies His reward for whom He wills. And Allah is all-encompassing and knowing.
So the habba became what? How many? 700. But does it stop at 700? Allah yudha'ifu liman yasha. So it is like, may it go to infinity. What is da'wah? Though we aim to achieve 100% of the highest level, we may not achieve but a smaller percentage of a lower level. So It is like a pyramid. It is like a hierarchy of needs. Dawah, good dawah efforts, we apply, but we may not achieve number 12. We may achieve 1, 2, 3, 4, depends on the. So our objective includes 1, resolve Islamophobia, remove it. Next level, neutralize their prejudice. They are afraid from us, Islamophobia, or they are having prejudices against us. We remove that. That's the second level. Third level, to familiarize them with Islam and Muslims and improve their attitude towards Islam. Third level is to let them sympathize with Muslims. Fourth level, to let them support the Muslims, support their cause. Let them stand for the Muslims' causes. 7, let them realize the beauty of Islam. 8, let them accept Islam. 8, La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah. Let them learn and practice Islam. So they are that. Or let them defend Islam and the Muslims. There are many non-Muslims that defend, even in the parliament. What is his name? I keep forgetting his name. Galloway?
George Galloway.
Yeah, he defends Islam. Is he a Muslim? No.
He's not Muslim.
At least we don't know that he is. Right? But he is defending Islam. So he has reached number 10 and skipped number 8 and 9. Right? And so let them call to Islam. Oh, now we like you, inshallah, will be du'at. Or let them teach and spread the true and authentic teaching of Islam. Learn Islam, authentic Islamic education, not mawdu', not da'if, not, and then teach the true teaching of Islam. So, good da'wah work, it is situational. This is a very important slide, because who and at what level are your audience? You have to ask, who are your audience, and at what level they are. Now, you cannot prescribe medicine without knowing what the illness is, and to what extent. Am I having severe pain, or am I reaching a very high temperature, or just 1 degree or 2? 1 degree or 2, I do not need.
Or higher.
Or if it's only 1 or 2, I do not need medicine. If I am reaching the top, I need medicine, and I need to take shower and what have you, take lots of liquids, fluids. Yeah? So to find out the state of your audience, you have to ask. So many times we prescribe, we give the prescription before we even know what the problem is. So we have to ask. And from the question, their answers, zoom more and ask. Take from their answers and make new questions. And keep doing that until they reach the end that you want. You do not pronounce it, they pronounce it. They say it. You follow what I'm saying? So be genuine. As you are asking these questions, do not ask questions simply because you want to embarrass someone or to show him. Yeah, you do not want to ask questions to show that you know, or ask questions to show that how much he or she doesn't know, or to embarrass them, or to put them in a corner. No. You are trying to lead them to a positive outcome. So be genuine and fresh each time you ask a question, with love, with Rahma. Listen carefully and frame other questions out of their responses. From their responses, you make a new question. And by the way, I could stop at each and every one of those and give you examples upon examples. But I know time is pressing, so apologies. Remember, it is a two-way conversation, not an interrogation. You do not ask to interrogate. You ask to help reach a conclusion, good conclusion. So keep it within the limits of a rational and encouraging dialogue. How about, this is a long definition, longer than the one we used before. Let me have this read it.
A definition of Dawah, intended purely to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone, and in accordance to the true teachings of Islam. Dawah is a situational and progressive process, performed wisely, gracefully, earnestly, and diligently by honorable, considerate, devout, and qualified preachers. Perhaps Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would open the hearts of the people if only they are inspired or persuaded to freely accept the truth and save themselves from a confusion, wrong behavior, or false belief and convictions.
To freely accept. No, don't corner them, don't push them. They have to freely accept. Right? Anyone who wants to communicate with me, this is the bottom number, this is my WhatsApp number. +966 54 089 2175. The British number is not working anymore. But my absence for 2 years, the number went away. All right, did we get the number? Okay. Consider this. I said we learn sometime, one slide will teach us something. Let's just have a look at this slide and how much and what we can learn from it. Communication. There are types of communications. One of them is what? Verbal. The other one would be non-verbal. Right? The verbal is only 7%. Imagine the verbal, that's what you say, is 7% of what you communicate. Only. It's amazing. And the non-verbal, the things that you do not say but you still communicate, is what? 55%. Interesting. The verbal is either oral, or which is speaking or listening, or written, which is writing, books, form, and or reading. Through this you communicate, right? But the tone of how that is said or read or written, right? The tone of it makes a difference. Is it inviting? Is it harsh? Is it what is the tone of the talk? And that comprised 38% of the degree of be communicating or lack of. The non-verbal, there are facial expressions, gestures, body language. Look at this man. He's doing three things at the same time. He has facial expression, he has a gesture, he has a body language as he's speaking. So he has already done three things in one, and he's communicating by that. When I say it isn't, when I say it's important, so please pay attention. Or I say it is important. You see, it is really important. Same word, it is important. I repeat it, but I did it in one. It's important. You have to pay attention, please. Is that wonderful? But you know what? It is important. You please pay attention. Yeah. And so there is also the proximity, how close, how far. You know, when you whisper into someone, when you put your hand onto someone's shoulder and you speak kindly, there is also the touch, right? And the personal appearance. If you appear like you are not dressed well, suppose you come to an interview for a job and you come to me like wearing all kind of stupid clothing, you think I want to employ you as a marketing personnel. Would I employ you? You know, the dressed shambles. No, I won't. Oh, it doesn't matter, but I am. Yeah, but appearance makes a difference. Right? Sometimes it is silence is a form of communication. You speak to daddy or mama and they say nothing, they are telling you something. Here's someone who's silent. If someone like this is silent like that, does he communicate something? He does. Right? And so there are channels of communication. This is the form of communication, left and right, verbal or non-verbal. There are channels of communication. There are the direct or indirect, or formal and informal, right? Under the direct or indirect, we have the in-person or through a mediator. You know, either I tell you or I ask someone to tell you. There's a different channel. Or social media, that's another channel. Or through audio-visual format like YouTube or film or documentary or plans and maps. Does the underground map in London communicate how you go from one place to another? Yeah. Yes, makes it very easy as a matter of fact. Do you know in the past, the underground map was actual every turn of the train? But it was very confusing, like the bus map. Today, the bus map is still as used to be, but the underground used to be like that. Someone smart said, do people in the train care whether the train turn left or right or how many times? They don't. They want to go from one station to another. If they take this route, this is how many stations, and then they will reach their destination. So maps or one-to-one lecture. This is another one-to-one or lectures. Second, the formal is letters, emails nowadays, directions or directives rather, and instructions, mass media, TV, radio, paper, procedure manuals. It communicates the manufacturer or the operation manager what you should do to carry a task, or flyers and books. These are the channels, but look what happened. On these channels, there's so much cloud. Clouded by what? Clouded by all kinds of obstacles and noise. So it's not what you say, it is what you convey. It's not what you say. It doesn't matter if I say something and it doesn't reach you. I say it in a manner that it doesn't go through your head. It doesn't move you emotionally. I did not communicate, did I? So it's not what you say, it is what you convey. And so talk. What? Talk less, say more sometimes. Don't talk so much like I am doing. No, talk less. Yeah? So consider some of the roadblocks to prevent effective communication, such as two genders. Man understands one way, a woman understands another way. A man does not communicate, does not speak or explain in the same manner as a woman. Men and women are different, although in this country they are trying to blur the limits. But still, men and women are different. Different, not less or more. It's just different. 4 different generations. How many generations we have here, mashallah? We have at least 3 or 4 generations. And there can be more. Right? And a young man like me wants to communicate to an old young man, boy, it doesn't work. There is a gap, generation gap. So I have to consider the generation gap as I communicate. 4 personalities. There is the optimist, the pessimist, the trusting, and the envious. As you speak to them, you have to consider where they are coming from. There are a variety of cultures. An Arab, and within the Arab, the Egyptian, the Yemeni, the Sudani, the Iraqi, the Syrian. Everyone has a different culture, and from their point of view, things are different. Yeah? They use even different words. There are personal issues, attitudes, extent of trust, interest. And someone throws his hand in the air and says, I told her. Yeah, thank you. You told yourself sometimes. You did not tell her, she did not receive the message. I told her. She doesn't understand. No, you did not make her understand. You understood, so you assume that she understands. Not necessarily. So there are extent to anxiety, stress, conflict, different levels of emotional intelligence. So as you consider motivation, timing, relevance, as you consider these variables and you're doing dawah or communicating with people, you have to bear these in mind and consider the difficulties and the obstacles that may on your way to prevent effective communication. And so education, language, sometimes there is a language barrier. And the level of complexity, how complex the topic is we are discussing now, will make, if I start talking now to you about the different computing methodologies, I may confuse you. because it's complicated more than you have. You don't have the prerequisites for it. If I speak quantum physics, you will be confused because you don't have the background necessary to understand quantum physics, and so on. So John Bernard Shaw said, what?
The single biggest problem in the communication is the illusion that it has taken place.
The single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. Sometimes we think we have communicated, but we did not really communicate. Here is another thing for you to consider. Transactional analysis. I as a person, I may act as a child, I may act as an adult, I may act as a parent. So parent to child is talking down. Child to parent, the child takes the place of the parent. Daddy, you're not supposed to smoke. Who's the parent?
Child.
The child. The child is the parent. Daddy feels, well, I told you, Dad, it doesn't work. So Dad is naive about, or doesn't know how to do this. Like, I was having a problem turning this off. He's, come on, give it to me. I'll shut it down. I'll shut it off for you. Yeah? Adult to adult is two-way communication. See this? Parent to child, one way. Child to parent, one way. But adult to adult is what? Two-way communication. And so it takes this form or that way. So there are several ego states, either a child or a parent or an adult. So what is the outcome? A parent to child, you have stubbornness and emotional reaction. The child, you speak down, but the child gets stubborn, doesn't want to do it. Right? And or the other way around, when the child acts like that takes the role of the parent, there is resentment and emotional reaction. When an adult to adult understanding and agreement. And so, are you critical or are you nurturing as you communicate? Consider this. Are you critical? You speak to your wife in a critical style or nurturing style? You talk to your father, you talk to your child. It depends on where your stance, where you are standing. You may influence the outcome of the communication. قال الله سبحانه وتعالى
So by mercy from Allah, O Muhammad, you were lenient with them. And if you had been rude in speech and harsh in heart, they would have disbanded from about you.
Conduct that influence communication effectiveness. Hearing people out without interruption. The skill of listening, not speaking. Staying unemotional in stressful or conflict situation. Staying unemotional. calm. Not taking messages or behavior personal. Do not take it personal, right? It is a Q-tip. Remember that Q-tip stands for quit taking it personal. Remember Q-tip, quit taking it personal. It's not personal. Don't make it so. All communications, listen to this, all communications are 90% subject to interpretation. Most of it tend to be against the one delivering their message. People trying to find where he is wrong, where he mispronounced, where he used the wrong word, whatever, right? Wrong gesture, wrong timing of the message. So the purpose of argument, or Arabs especially, or Eastern people, the purpose of argument, or discussion it should be, is not victory, but understanding. The purpose of communication is understanding, not, I have the last word, so I am victorious. That's not the purpose of communication. Response, you are in the driver's seat. How you respond is your choice. 3 components to response. Thought, I listen to you, I think what you're saying, I think about what you're saying, and then that develops emotions, and eventually I behave as a result of what you said to me. Not necessarily angry like this little boy, but do not reverse it or disturb the sequence. Do not behave before you think about it. Do not behave, before you decide what is the level of emotions you should. Right? And so, listen, let's look at this circle. Things that beyond my control are the outside. What are they? Other people's actions, other people's feelings, other people's words, other people's ideas, other people's behavior. I cannot control that. So I should not spend my time worrying and arguing and talking or whatever. I cannot I can control things like my words, which will influence other people's feelings, but I can control my words. So I should be in the driver's seat. I can control my ideas, bring a good idea that is well thought of, right? I can control my efforts, how much energy I put into the issue. I can control my mistakes. I don't keep repeating mistakes. I learn from my mistakes. Or I can control my behavior. How I behave will influence people. These are the things I can control. These are the things I should put my effort into. And so your response is your responsibility, not because of others. You decide how you respond. Even if the other person has done you a bad mistake, or it's all right, come, take it easy. Do not overreact. If you overreact, that's your responsibility, not his or hers. Stages of change. In Dawah, we have to consider this. This is a starting point. People are either at this point, in this stage, or maybe pre-contemplation. It's a pre-contemplation stage, so they are not ready. All right? What you should do? Create awareness, change values and beliefs. This is what you can do. There is an error, a typo error. Okay? Contemplation. They are contemplating, but what? They are not really. Contemplation, aware problem exists, but not committed to action. I know smoking is bad, but I'm not ready to live it up. Kind of. So, persuade and motivate. That's your job. If they are preparing for and committing to action, they are ready now. You need to educate and encourage. But you have to feel where they are, right? And action, they are moving, changing. Now you have to facilitate the action. I'm sorry, it seems you are already tired. Maintenance, to maintain that, you need to do the follow-up. And relapse, you need to do the follow-up to avoid relapse. A patient who is to be operated on is examined, diagnosed, repaired, operated on, allowed to recover, rehabilitate, evaluate, and operate on again if necessary. That's what we do with the patient. So, what do we do in Dawah? The process is like the operation. We're neutralizing, attracting, provoking, influencing, stimulating, assimilating, mentoring, integrating and assimilating, equipping, engaging, involving, deploying. Dawah is about helping people realize their duties to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and helping them learn how to achieve that in accordance to the true authentic teachings of Islam. But these topics are of the next room. Reflect. Even if you never need the very insights and skills you learn here, you most likely will need the skills you develop as a byproduct of learning these skills. So you will your mental ability grows. And you are empowered, inshaAllah. Now, you may, this is maybe very important. These are verses from the Bible that you can remember and use. But, how you use them, I want you to remember the verse place, ask your audience to open to that place, read for him or herself that verse, and ask what they conclude from that. Now, God is not a man that he should lie, or a son of man that he should repent. So God is not a man. Think about it, the other person. If God is not a man, what does that tell you? Not only that, but men of Israel, here are these words. Jesus of Nazareth, a man attested to you by God. So God is not a man, and Jesus of Nazareth is a man. What is the conclusion? Jazakallahu khair. Right? That's one set of verses. The other two. And at the 9th hour, Jesus cried with a loud shout or voice, Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani, which means, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? Can God have a God? But Jesus is crying to God, Eloi, Eloi. Allah in different dialect. Eloi, Eloi, lama sabaqtani. So the God of Abraham and Isaac, and of Isaac and of Jacob, and the God of our fathers glorified his servant Jesus. So he's not his son, he's his what? Servant, as per the Bible in Acts 3:13. Jesus answered, the first commandment is, like we have seen before, hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one, Echad. When the people saw the signs which Jesus has done, they said, this is indeed the prophet. So Jesus, the contemporary people thought of him as the prophet. Here, Jesus answered, I was sent only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. The lost sheep of the house of Israel, meaning the what? The Jews. So is Jesus sent to the English? No. Is he sent to the Americans? No. Europeans? No. Africans? No. Chinese? No. Indians? No. Only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, meaning Bani Israel, who are only 15 million in the world now. But the 985 million are not the children of Israel. So he is not their messenger. Okay, so Jazakumullahu khairan. That's the end.